I remember this guy. He's got a Dragonite in as well, but fortunately it's only one, so I won't need to pull off some crazy stunts to try and kill two at the same time. Of course, he's got some more stuff now, some stuff from the national decks, such as this Licky Tongue. I guess my Milotic could be able to take it on, but I'm just going to make sure. I'm going to go with Mian Chao. Then again, I guess Milotic would probably two-hit KO it with Surf, but, you know, Mian Chao could use the experience as well, since, well, I'm rather confident in Milotic's abilities as a whole. So, High Jump Kick, of course, connects, which is good because, once again, if you miss, you lose half of your HP. Okay, Conkeldurr is next, so I'm going to have to go with either Dragonite or Zekrom. I'm going to go with Zekrom because, well, I guess defensively it's slightly superior to Dragonite, I guess, you know, being Uber and all, but I guess Dragonite has Stab on Surf. Fly, sorry. But then again, Zekrom has slightly higher attack, so, well, both of them could do the job, I imagine. And Dragonite probably wouldn't have gotten the one-hit KO anyway. Hammer Arm, it hits for a lot of damage. This being Conkeldurr, of course, with its massive attack power. And this next Fly should do it in. It's not like a Conkeldurr is going to care about that speed drop anyway, because it's just so slow. So, next we have Darmanitan. So, I'm going to go with Milotic, as I've said before. Sending out Tyranitar is not the brightest idea, considering this one probably has superpower as well, or Brick Break, or something like that. So, let's see how Surf is going to do this time. Taunt! Are you serious? Why would you go for Taunt? It's like, here, I'm going to make it even easier for you to kill me. Here, have a free turn where you can use your super effective attack on me. And Darmanitan goes down in a single serve. Which makes me wonder, though, why didn't those two go down as well in one serve? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, maybe it's EVs, maybe it's other shenanigans, I don't know. The important thing is no more Darmanitans for at least a little while. So, I'm gonna go with Mian Chao as my second now, since I'm going to be fighting this double battle over there. This is the best way to feel the heat of the game of football. I don't really know what makes double battles connect with football that much. I mean, both are, I wouldn't say sports in the case of Pokemon battles, but they rely a lot on teamwork. Football is, I think, much more of a team sport than any other sport, I think. Even Wide Guard, well, nice prediction, actually, because I was going with Surf, which is going to protect them, and only hit my Mian Chao. So, oh wow, that sock actually did not have Sturdy for once. So it's sort of weird. Whenever I see a sock in game, I always assume it's got Sturdy. Now let's try Blizzard, just because I don't want to hurt Mian Chao anymore, just to get one throw. Drain Punch should heal a good bit of HP. Yep, here we go, and Blizzard connects. So is that going to be enough to bring that throw down? No, not even close. So, another Drain Punch, and Wide Guard means that Blizzard probably won't be hitting either, even though Throh is the only Pokemon left. And there we go. It was that easy. Well, of course, it sort of helped that Sock did not have a Sturdy, because otherwise I might have taken some serious damage from whatever attacks it had. As I said before, stuff like Sock can be extremely dangerous, especially, as I said earlier in this LP, in the early game where there will technically fully evolve Pokemon with the stats to match, which is sort of the reason why they're not made available in Black and White 2 until you reach Route 23, which is the last one before Victory Road. Though I guess that's a bit late because, well, at that point, Throh and Sock will have outlived their usefulness, and you're going to already have one of the more powerful fighting types available to you. So, Growl on my Milotic? Okay, well, thanks for the free surf. I don't know how much damage it's gonna do, but, oh wow, less than half. So, yeah, Mismagius, of course, has a lot of special defense. Its HP is on the cruddy side, though, but that special defense, man, just barely missed. If I had a better damage roll on the first one, it might have been a 2-hit KO, but it's too busy spamming Astonish of all moves to be able to do anything of note to me. I mean, seriously, Astonish? As far as I remember, that one's physical, and Mismagius' attack is really lousy as well. Gothitelle now. I'm gonna go with Tyranitar and its Crunch attack, because, well, as I recall, Gothitelle doesn't even learn Fail Blast, and besides, Gothitelle is fairly slow. It's about in the same speed bracket as Tyranitar. In fact, I would say, it's a bit faster, though, probably because of the level advantage, but Charm is going to greatly lower my attack stat, unfortunately. So, how much is it going to do? Oh, wow! Even without... Well, that was sort of lucky in terms of hacks, because a low damage roll could potentially screw me over. Well, maybe not because of the sandstorm, but still, it's interesting to know that even without Charm, whether it was a one-hit KO or not would have been a coin flip with freaking Tyranitar! That's pretty amazing. I don't really get used to Gothitelle being so bulky, especially on the physical side. But anyway, I'm going to change leads once again. I'm going to go with Dragonite just to make sure everyone gets their fair share of experience. So, let's take out this other football player here. Hopefully that lead change will turn out to be beneficial, and I'm not going to run into something like an Ice type or something. Okay, Sock. Pretty good considering Dragonite resists fighting. So I'm, of course, going to go with Fly, considering it's my best bet. Oh, and I even managed to outmaneuver it with the Endure counter. So what's it going to do now? Quick Guard? Quick Guard against an incoming Fly. Congratulations. That was just... and this one's got Sturdy. So it used Endure on a Pokemon that's at full health and has Sturdy. What the fuck? And then it decides to use once again Quick Guard instead of Endure, both of which run from the same counter. So it was just completely suicidal, I guess. So once again, this throw uses Endure once again, but the next one could connect. So I hope I'm going to be able to. Nope, not enough to bring it down in Endure, which was sort of expected, which was why I decided to go with the Dragon Claw instead. Can you attack, please? I mean, sure, I know you resist. I know Dragonite resists pretty much everything you can throw at me, but just spamming Endure won't do a damn thing. God damn, these AI trainers are so dumb. Hariyama now. Let me guess. Endure! Am I right? It would kill me if I was right. No, close combat! It actually went for an offensive move. That... I was totally expecting more Endure action here, and Heavy Slam, which isn't going to do a whole lot considering Dragonite is pretty heavy as well. And there we go! I knew it had Endure, so it's going to endure my Dragon Claw, but... the next one should knock it out as long as it doesn't decide to use Endure again. Here we go. And it wouldn't have surprised me one bit if it decided to use Endure again, even though the success rate for subsequent Endures or Protects or Detects or Wide Guards or Quick Guards, which all run off the same counter, by the way, so you can't just alternate between Protect and Detect. So, I'm gonna go this time with, Tyranitar. Hey, why not? At least I can switch out if I face something really nasty like a fighting type. But that other guy had so many fighting types that I don't think this guy here is gonna have them. And oh wow, I was actually right. So Fortress means that I should probably go with Stone Edge being my best bet since I don't have any fire moves on anything to burn it to a crisp in one shot. So, how much is Stone Edge going to do? Oh, and that was a critical on top of that. Double Edge, not going to do a whole lot. Fortress, not being a huge offensive powerhouse. And Tyranitar, of course, resisting it anyway. So, an Earthquake is enough to finish it off. Of course, I went with Earthquake instead of a Stone Edge for accuracy purposes. It's very important to know when you know you're close to knocking out a Pokemon, when to resort to using weaker moves that have more accuracy. It's sometimes a huge difference maker, even in competitive play. So, this one, free experience! Man, they're just throwing themselves at my Tyranitar right now. So, Slowpoke is, of course, going to go down from a single solitary crunch. Sure, Tyranitar is slow, but Slowpoke, being, one of the most unoriginal, boring, yet utterly descriptive Pokemon names, of course, isn't going to outspeed much. Slowbro, for that, I'm going to send out Lilligant because, well, Lilligant needs the experience far more than Tyranitar, considering, as you've noticed, I've been babying it a lot in this Let's Play, considering that it only has one offensive type that it can rely on. Well, of course I could go for Hidden Power, but I don't even know which type I would get, which power I would get, which would probably be a far cry from the 70 you usually see in competitive play. So, we have now fought everyone that we could fight in the big stadium, so since we still have a bit of time left, I'm going to head over to Route 5, because there is something you can do, and that's even a requirement if you want to battle Sharon later on. So head over to Route 5, which is just to the west of Nimbasa City, and there you are going to encounter Sharon. And we get some sad music, I guess, as Sharon shares with us what he's learned from his travels. Of course, as I said, this conversation is a requirement for fighting him in the final room of Victory Road. You can do so every day once you've talked to him here. And in terms of difficulty, I would rank him pretty close to the super bosses. Even though his levels aren't nearly as high, I would say he's almost as tough as Morimoto in spite of that. And yeah, he's going to Victory Road. We're not going to be fighting him for quite a while, and I want to keep it for near the end of this Let's Play. So, next time, we're going to get started on the small court. So, what are we going to be fighting today? Is it going to be... Yes, it's going to be tennis asses! Of course, I have to milk that joke, run it right into the ground, because, well, that's how they're called in the German version, and I find it mildly amusing at the very least. So we're going to start off with yet another double battle to end off this video. Of course, I'm going to be going back to heal off-screen after that, or I guess I should say off-camera. Doesn't really matter what you want to call it anyway. So, Jellicent and Zebstrika. Of course, Zekrom is going to be using Fusion Bolt on Jellicent. Nianchao, High Jump Kick on Zebstrika, which is going to be using Fusion Bolt, not Fusion Bolt, Wild Charge on Nianchao. Zebstrika might actually be sort of interesting if it could learn Fusion Bolt. It would be such a huge improvement over your move of choice between Spark and Wild Charge that it's not even funny. But anyway, we're looking at double one-hit KOs here. Not really that much of a surprise, especially since, well, High Jump Kick on Zebstrika was a bit more shaky, but Zebstrika is really, really frail, and Nianchao's High Jump Kick, 130 power off 125 base attack, that's pretty freaking high. So I'm going to head back to heal off camera, and I will see you for the remainder of the trainers in this tennis court.